Alright, that was an action-packed UFC 287, so we've got to unpack everything that happened. So let's start with Raul Rosas Jr. versus Christian Rodriguez. The 18-year-old met his match in the octagon as Christian Rodriguez showed why experience counts. At the end of the day, if you're an 18-year-old fighter who's opening a main card in a pay-per-view event in Miami for the UFC, dude, you're already winning in life. Damn, do you know what I was doing at 18?
I myself, I jerk off at least twice a day.
A loss at such an early stage in his career is nothing but a stepping stone for Raul Rosas, and there's no doubt that it's only about improving, and when he does, you can rest assured that he's going to be a problem. Once again, Christian Rodriguez showed why maintaining composure is crucial to winning fights as he adeptly fought off multiple holds from under before eventually gaining control and winning the fight. And then we had Rob Font versus Adrian Yanez. In a battle to be taken as a serious bantamweight contender, Rob Font and Adrian Yanez both set out to prove that they can stand and bang against the bantamweights elite. After two tough losses to top bantamweights in Jose Aldo and Chito Vera, Rob Font needed a decisive finish, and boy oh boy did he get it as he shut down Adrian Yanez's 6-fight win streak. Now this might not be the performance that Adrian wanted to put up, but as a dude who's backed up by 5 performance bonuses in his last 6 fights, this is nothing but a small speed bump along the road for an otherwise trailblazing bantamweight who can put on barn burners on demand. Now, Kevin Holland versus Santiago Ponzinibbio is a fight that I don't quite think belongs on the main card. I only think that because the Chris Curtis and Kelvin Gastelum fight seemed to be so much better on paper and it delivered the way it did, even though it was a headline card on the prelims. Nonetheless, I don't think Kevin Holland versus Santiago Ponzinibbio was a fight that was important enough to move the needle within the welterweight division. And when you've been a little reckless with your career, it's kind of unfair to see how that's rewarded with a main card fight, while someone like Chris Curtis and Kelvin Gastelum, who've always given it their all for combat sports, end up on the prelims. And then we have Masvidal versus Burns. No matter what, Jorge Masvidal will always be a part of the fight game, and that's exactly the kind of evolution we all love to see a fighter take across their whole career, right? We're talking about a guy who gave it his all for the fight game. Prime Jorge was a guy who'd fight anyone, anywhere, anytime, and live the American dream of creating generational wealth using his intricate knowledge of the fight game. Burns definitely had many chances to put Masvidal away during the fight after stunning him with some sharp striking, only to give his opponent the time to recover and push the fight to a decision. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind that this guy deserves to fight Leon Edwards for the belt, but the Dana White privilege runs pretty strong for Kobe Covington, so we were promised a spectacular main event, and boy did it deliver. We've seen some great rivalries across combat sports, and I can say with confidence that the Izzy and Pereira dance has been the most entertaining so far. After finding himself on the losing end after 3 exchanges in 2 different sports, Izzy went into this fight having won more rounds against Pereira across all their combat sports exchanges, but still being on the losing end of all 3 of their fights. I mean, Izzy has tasted loss at the hands of Pereira in every way imaginable. TKO, KO, and decision. Like, that must hurt. Moreover, after a shocking 2022 where most of the reigning champs were dethroned, 2023 was all about redemption. However, the first of the rematches already showcased how these new champions leveled up and evolved. After Kamaru Usman lost his rematch after a dominant performance in their second fight, I really didn't want to see Izzy's fight go the same way. Izzy said,
"One more shot at this. I put everything on my back. I've done everything in my power to make sure I do the worst thing to this man this weekend. I'm done with this talk. You guys want to hear me talk or you want to hear me fight?"
Izzy pulled a rabbit out of the hat as he almost experienced deja vu from their first fight. I'm going to be honest, while that finish was picture perfect, I wasn't a big fan of him exactly beefing with Pereira's kid. The kid just saw his dad get sent to the shadow realm. Now that the king has reclaimed his throne, the next question we've got to ask ourselves is, what next for Izzy and the middleweight division? After nearly lapping the top portion of the middleweight division in his first reign, there are effectively no legitimate challengers. Jan Blachowicz was quick to jump on the challenger train and request a rematch, this time at middleweight. If Jan somehow manages to make weight for that fight, I will buy him a bungalow in Palm Jumeirah. Not that I can afford a house in Palm Jumeirah, but you get my point. Khamzat Chimaev also tossed his name in for consideration. The fact that his last fight was against an unranked Gerald Meerschaert isn't helping his case, but the stylistic matchup between the two will undoubtedly sell PPVs. Dricus du Plessis also seems to be the odd one out here with more ranked wins than Khamzat. Considering that the UFC gave Pereira a title shot after 2 fights, it doesn't seem too far-fetched to see Dricus and Izzy compete to be UFC's African champ. I don't know about you, but seeing a white dude call himself Africa's champion is going to be the funniest shit I'm ever going to see, and I'm all for it. Now, I talked about it in a video somewhere over here, link in bio, wherever. But there's a decent chance that a guy like Alex Pereira is a more natural light heavyweight than a middleweight. So if he does climb up to 205, there's also a strong possibility that he gets his hands on the 205 title. And if he does get his hands on the 205 title, there's a strong case for a trilogy fight at 205 pounds, giving Izzy the chance to become champ. Let me know what you guys thought about the card in the comments below, and let me know what you think is going to be happening with the middleweight division and the welterweight division after the events that we witnessed on the card today. And if you have any other ideas about MMA arcs I could cover, drop those suggestions down in the comments below too. I would highly appreciate that. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and if you don't want to, that's chill too. Hope you have a lovely rest of the day. Take care. I'll see you in the next video.